Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining and for coming back. This is Joanna the medium and your intuitive coach. Just very quickly, these are going to be your October readings. I use different cards, sometimes different decks in different readings. Always remember these are general readings, so if you would like a private session, that information is down below for you. Also, if you would like to have the long-term forecast from July until the end of the year, you can do so, or you can purchase those videos on my video page or Vimeo page, and that information is also down below for you. I don't think I have anything that is pressing other than thank you so much for watching, for liking, and for sharing. I always want to make sure that I say this first and foremost, because without you, I wouldn't be doing this. And remember that these messages are general, like I said, and they may not apply to all of you. Some messages may apply to some of you. Some messages may apply to different parts of your life, or a little bit of my message may apply to some of your life. So take what makes sense and discard what doesn't. But always remember, it is almost always, these messages never make sense at the beginning of a month, and they almost always make sense towards the end of the month and the beginning of the next month, which would be November, for this series. So also listen to your moon sign and your rising sign, as these may offer you greater clarity. And I think that's all I have. Enjoy these videos, and I look forward to hearing from you. And if you wish to book a reading with me, that information is down below for you. Thank you so much, and I will see you soon. Hello, beautiful Pisces. This is going to be your reading for the month of October 2017. Let me turn the music down a little bit. A lot of interesting energies for you this month of October. Let me just go through some of the channeled information that I received. One of the first things I heard was the words, "I am ready." So for many of you, you will be experiencing what I would call is a time of completion. One of the things that I saw was the vision of Eight of Cups in my mind, which signifies to me you are walking away from something, or emotionally separating yourself from something or someone that no longer serves you. I did see some of you walking away from certain situations and progressing forward with a decision. And the decision is to move away from something and severing ties with a situation or with someone that is no longer serving in your life. The number 10 was being shown to me, which is very much a number of completion. So you are, many of you are very much at an end of a cycle. There's a theme here of regeneration, rebirth, walking away from something, completion, leaving dissatisfaction behind and starting new. Very much a time of contemplation. There is a lot of conflicting energies that I do feel in the month of October for you, but it is because many of you are facing some decisions or overcoming certain obstacles, and those are all connected with the word completion or termination, or terminating something that is no longer working for you or working in your favor. The other thing I heard was that abundance awaits you. Be proud of who you are, and be proud of yourself and be still. So there is very much a feeling of abundance coming your way. Abundance is not just physical, it is also emotional. So abundance is on many levels. Most often we think of abundance as financial, but that's not the case. It is emotional abundance that is also paired with financial or physical abundance. The other thing I kept seeing was, in my mind, the image of Ace of Cups, and actually the words that was said to me was emotional security that comes from opening yourself up to possibilities. You are going to be in a strong position for a new beginning. I also felt that many of you will come to a point of knowing what you want from life, and knowing that you are no longer willing to sacrifice yourself while pursuing your life. So there's a lot of realizations that are coming through for you in the month of October. Some of you may have had those realizations already by the time you listen to this video. But there is a process of leaving, letting go, cleaning up the old, some stuff resurfacing in order for you to deal with it, and very much a new beginning it is awaiting you. It may not be in the month of October, I'm hearing December, but there's very much a process of letting go. So that is, let me just see what else I heard here. Okay, so that's what I got as far as channeled information. Then I went with the cards. I have like 8 cards here that popped up, so I got to work with every single one of them. The overall energy for the month of October is signified by 3 cards. They both fell out. The first card is the Emperor, right there. The second one is a heart chakra, and the third one is the Chariot. For those of you who are not familiar with my work, I don't read cards the traditional way. I don't know how. I'll never learn. It's not part of my gift. But I do see images and I receive certain situations. So the overall feeling I get from these cards that represent the overall energy is leaving a situation that is controlling, that is domineering, that is dominating, overwhelming, or overpowering, and moving away from that space. And that will also that will result in you emotionally healing. Because the heart chakra is connected to it, this feels very much to me for many of you that you will be leaving an oppressive situation and or oppressive organization. Anything that is oppressive in terms of physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all of the above, there's a sense of you getting away from that. So that can be a relationship that you find yourself in that was oppressive, domineering, or dominating, or controlling. So there's a potential here to move away from something that isn't serving you, but the oppression and the control is very much at the forefront of that energy. So basically, I feel you're getting away from something, leaving something, and moving on from something that is no longer part of what you desire for yourself. Then I went through other cards, and 3 cards popped up. So I asked the question, what will there be facing? The first card is the Tribe in reverse, or in protection. What this is saying to me is that in the month of October, be careful not to compromise your integrity in order to be accepted, in order to belong, or in order to stay in an environment that offers you some sort of perk such as stability. So that's one of the things that's coming up, and I'll talk about it more in just a second. The other card is the card of regeneration, and that is in reverse position as well. This card talks about letting go of something that no longer serves you, letting go of something that needs to die, and that's not a physical death, that's a metaphor. Letting go of something that is no longer beneficial to you, and as a matter of fact, letting go of something that is on many levels detrimental to you. The other thing that what I got from this card when I was focusing on it was, don't be afraid to face your fears, and there is no need to struggle. And if I feel very much this oppressive environment, some of you are currently in an oppressive environment, and you're thinking or deciding or contemplating on what it is that you should do next. And if you may very well be somewhere where somebody's asking you to do something, and if you end up doing whatever they're asking you to do, you will compromise your integrity. Be very careful, because that's a very high price to pay for something that you will be involved in for quite some time. And yes, you do have choices. Because of the integrity component coming up, and there being a possibility of you being faced with that situation, this may very well be a time for you to look at whether this situation is something that is part of your path going forward, or whether it's something that needs to be left behind. The other card that came is the card of fork in the road, also in protection position. And the fork in the road is about indecision. It's about avoiding making a decision because you're afraid of making the wrong decision. It is also a message of making sure that you don't let others choose for you. What does that mean? If you ask for too many inputs from other people, and if you don't take into consideration what your intuition is telling you, you're essentially letting others choose for you. Or literally, you take others' words for what it is that you want to do, or you let others decide for you. Be very careful in the month of October not to get stuck in a situation because you feel you should. There is no such thing as you should for the most part. We're talking about something that doesn't serve you. Also, this card talks about there potentially being a situation where you are afraid of making a wrong decision, and you may feel like you can't make a decision. Know that if you are not making a decision is also making a decision, or not making a choice is making a choice. So if you find yourself in a situation in the month of October or in the next little while, you may already have found yourself there, where you feel stuck, you feel a sense of obligation, but you feel overpowered, controlled, or in some way, shape, or form, you don't feel yourself and you don't know how to get out of it. You may feel you don't have enough strength to make that choice, or you feel you're not ready. If that's what you choose, that's okay, because the universe will offer you second chances going on. But there's a definite feel here of you needing to leave something behind. Very, very clear. The next question I posed is, what should they be looking out for? Or what is it that what should they be looking out for? The star in reverse came up. So I'm going to show you this in upright, and this is in reverse. So the star in reverse talks about feeling stuck. It talks about lack of faith, being discouraged. And because many of you are facing a brand new beginning, before you can have a brand new beginning, you may need to close some doors, and some doors you may have to shut closed, lock it and throw away the key, and whatever that means for you, you guys figure it out. And some of you may be very indecisive because you might feel afraid of not knowing what to do, or feeling like you don't have the strength, or maybe not knowing where to go from there. There's a card that talks about this in a second. And because of that, you may feel some temporary lack of faith or lack of discouragement. It also almost feels like you're in a fog and you don't know what to do, and it may feel very claustrophobic. Know that that is temporary. Things will clear up for you in the next little while. And one of the ways to help you do this, which is the next card, is guidance. So this is about you asking for guidance, you receiving guidance from spiritual sources, meaning you asking for guidance from your intuition, from your higher self, you asking for guidance from those who you feel are in a position to give you guidance. People who have gone through certain situations, people who you trust. This could be spiritual friends, this could be spiritual organizations, this could be a close friend, this could be someone who is a professional, a counselor, anyone that you feel you can trust in order to give you the right input, not to necessarily save you from a situation or not to validate where you are, but to give you concrete information that will help you decide where to go next. Some of you seem to be hiding. You seem to be hiding from either inevitable, or you seem to be hiding from being yourself. And I want to talk about this card again, the regeneration card in reverse or in protection position. This is very much about you facing your fears in order to face yourself. And what I mean by this is, when we face our fears, we then have the ability to become ourselves or become our true selves. One of the things that I talked about here is the authenticity. I have hard time saying this word. Being authentic to yourself, being true to yourself, and staying, honoring your truth, honoring yourself, and honoring your integrity in the process. Now, this message is not going to connect with all of you. Clearly, it's going to connect with some of you. It will probably connect with quite a bit of you, because we are all going through the process of massive change. And ever since, I think, August or September, ever since the huge eclipses that took place, we are being presented with opportunities to see things in a way that make us decide, that help us decide how we want to proceed forward in the next phase of our life. And for many of us, it's letting go of things that no longer serve, things that keep you from being you, relationships that keep you from being true to yourself, relationships and situations that oppress you, that do not challenge you in a positive way, that keep you stuck in a box or in a corner somewhere where you are not to be seen. One of the messages here that I also received is, don't compromise yourself in a way that makes you be small. And one of the things you might want to ask yourself, if you're feeling, or if you are in a situation that doesn't feel right, ask yourself, is there anything that I'm doing to keep myself small in order to be seen? And that's a contradiction. But actually, what did I write here? There was something here that came to me that I wrote, and I actually smiled when I wrote this. Do you hide yourself in order to be seen? Very, very important. Sometimes we will do that in order to belong, in order to feel safe, in order to have other people approve of us. Whatever it is, we put ourselves back. We will minimize ourselves, our authority. We will put our integrity aside, and we will do things that otherwise we wouldn't do in order to gain something in return. Most of the time, if you keep yourself back because you need to fit in or because you need to be seen, that is far too high of a cost for you to pay long term. And the message here is asking you to consider and maybe reconsider some of the choices you are making with respect to where you are in your relationships, in your work, in your environment. This is about you looking at your life and taking a mental note and mental inventory and looking at all the pieces around you and ask yourself, what do I want? Who am I? What do I want? Where do I want to be? And then looking at your life and taking inventory of what is in line with what you want, who you are, where you want to go, and what is not. And having the courage, the discipline, and the faith to make the right steps, to make the decision to let go of the things that are not in line. And these things could be as minute as making a choice of eating right and letting go of junk food, to major decisions of letting go of relationships that is toxic and that drains your energy and that keeps you down, or that keeps you in a corner somewhere where you feel very small, like you can't fly, and that's a metaphor. So there is definitely a feel of transition here. With that comes a sense of healing. And I do feel many of you, the word addictions comes to mind. So many of you will be letting go of some addictions. And we're addicted to gazillion different things, not just alcohol. We're addicted to work. We're addicted to sex. We're addicted to feeling small. We're addicted to shopping. We're addicted to chocolate. We're addicted to, there's gazillion addictions. Basically anything that is wackily out of balance. I can't believe I just said that. And that you depend on, or that you do on a regular basis, that actually minimizes who you are. That addiction is filling a void in order for you to feel better, except that never works long term. So I feel like I'm rambling, but I think you get the point. There's definitely a feel of transition here. I'm seeing the number 1, and again I'm seeing the Ace of Cups. There's a potential here for you to have an emotional renewal. Absolutely. But I feel for that to happen, some of you, many of you, have to let some things go. The things that no longer serve you, or the things that must die, let those things die. And that's a metaphor. The fork in the road that you are being presented with, if you don't make a decision, you're making a choice to be where you are. And if that's what you choose to do, that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes we're just not ready. Sometimes we don't have enough information to help us move into the next step. That's okay. The universe will always give you a second chance. But most importantly, don't be afraid to ask for guidance. Whether it's a friend you trust, whether it's a colleague, whether it's someone elderly, anyone that you feel has had experiences and has knowledge and wisdom that will tell you not what you want to hear, but what you need to hear in order to make the right choice or right decisions, or right decision for yourself. And I think that's all I have. I hear the words, have faith in yourself. This is only a brand new beginning. So I'm going to leave that with you. I wish you best of luck. The number 8 is being shown to me. I'm trying to see if there's any 8s here. No, there's no 8s. There's a potential here to you regain your power and regain your strength, but I definitely feel you need to get away from a certain situation that has been draining your batteries, if you will. So although it feels a little bit, and it's not a lot of oomph and glory, I feel like in many ways this is a time for celebration, because the universe is presenting you with an opportunity to let go of something. And this will typically be presented to you through a set of circumstances. And I hear the words, I've had enough. So many of you will have had enough in the month of October, and you will choose to move forward in a brand new way towards a brand new beginning. So this is actually fantastic. I wish you all best of luck. And of course, this will not make sense to all of you. It is not supposed to. Some of you will make sense of little bits and pieces. Some of you will resonate with the whole thing. Most of this will not resonate at the beginning of the month usually. So at the end of the month, usually you can see it better and much clearly. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can also listen to the other signs, your moon sign and your rising sign. And if you would like a private session to see how this fits with you, by all means, you can contact me. That information is down below. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, and for sharing. I wish you absolutely best of luck. And take care of yourself. And I look forward to seeing you again in November. Take care.